Yes,
ecosystem is going on. Throughout the world,
yes,
the balanced ecosystem, that is only for
right,
plant.
right,
Even this rain, evaporation of water, that is that every thing, if you come to the point, uh, uh, root of the cause, then plant is meant for everything,
yes,
like
absolutely,
no, until and unless fertility and this evaporation of water will take due to this plants ecosystem and
right,
plants uh, photosynthesis, what I want
absolutely,
to say.
yes, yes,
Then only this will manage to come, and then we'll get good shower, good even again crops, and finally we get our food like this way.
right, right, absolutely, absolutely. So, as you had shared with me that trees have been a topic of discussion since ages, and that they represent life, peace, growth, and nature. So, can you share your insights on this, please?
Sorry, once, please, 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, Shimaji.
Yeah.
Please, will you please
Yeah,
repeat once
definitely,
again?
definitely. I will do so. As we had spoken before, and like what you had expressed, is that trees have been a topic of discussion since ages.
Yeah,
So, and they
yeah,
represent life, peace, growth, and nature. So, I would like to you to
yeah,
share
exactly.
your insights on this.
Absolutely. Let me think a minute, please. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
sure.
if you want to
Yes, definitely,
put some
because
question to Mrs. Arshdeep, then I will be
I
glad
would,
to.
yeah, I would like to take on
Yeah, yeah,
with this because I also believe that, trees definitely represent life and peace, growth, and nature because green is a color that is associated with life, it's associated with rejuvenation, it's associated with health. So when we think of trees, we definitely think of the color green, and when you look at the greenery, it gives you that feeling of freshness. It kind of rejuvenates your energy, so thereby it influences your health. And when it influences you to a better health and a good health, then automatically your life starts blooming. And once your life starts blooming, I think that would lead to a lot of peace within. And I
absolutely.
would like to look at it from that. And as you see, when you have your peace within, that's when you start realizing your own growth, your own potential. And then that the growth phase starts, because if you're not at peace inside, then you're stuck in your growth. So that is what is my observation.
Absolutely.
And it is so similar and so synonymous to how nature is. And nature is a major contributor to peace. If you would see that, there's so many people, I'm talking of both intellectuals and people who are not so intellectually bent as well. They do find a lot of peace sitting in nature, sitting in their garden, or perhaps visiting a park, or some of them they take a retreat. Why do people take a retreat and get into the wilderness or get into some sort of resort where you can find a lot of trees and plants and flowers and the best of nature with them? The reason behind being that
True,
they can
true.
find a lot of peace, they can find a lot of they can go in internally for their own growth, and definitely that makes
Internally,
their life
peace,
beautiful.
growth,
Yes,
growth. Yeah.
Right. So it makes their life much more beautiful when they see all these things around them, because I think the city is much more invaded with a lot of constructions, which you can say to some extent it is a necessity as a part of development. At the same time, it's an erosion of the natural environment. So we need to have a good balance of both the green and the concrete in our cities. So that is one thing where Parijay steps into, because since we are not finding horizontal spaces to develop our greens being occupied with constructions, we are now planning to grow. I mean, not now, it's been quite there from some time. So we are growing the green vertically. And one such example is what Ekta is out to do today. She is on a mission right now on a project where she is installing a vertical garden. It's a little dark, but Ekta, if you could just share your screen, we could
Yes,
just
of course,
have a look. Yeah.
but I think it's late. I think it's not visible right now.
All right. If you could just flash across with your flashlight from
Yeah,
your mobile,
let
we
me
could
check,
just have a
Satnam.
small look.
थोड़ी लाइट यहाँ पे आप करोगे ताकि हम लोग दिखा
Harsh,
पाए.
can you keep her in the focus apart from Kaveri ji so that we can have a look at Ekta? We can pin her.
You see how my team is working. They are installing this vertical garden. So the drilling work is going on. Plants are ready to install.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. Right. If you could go a little slow on the video, it will be visible to our
Different
audience.
types of plants. It's aglonema, ivy. So variety of plants, dracaena, variety of plants can be grown vertically. So it will give,
Right.
it will create the concrete walls into the fresh breathing walls.
Right.
So the
Could we
walls
have a
who
look at
are,
the walls that you have already installed?
I think that will we do in the next section because
All
right now I
right.
have the images, but we have to manage it.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ekta, for taking us through the work that you're doing.
So right now it's dark in the nursery. So otherwise we may meet a lot of people who are plant lovers and are selecting a lot of plants.
Right.
Let me show you. Okay. So you can see how everybody is interested for the plants.
Right.
Plants is the
Right.
thing. I can feel that it connects the people.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes, nature is the only thing which connects the people. It creates the good bonding, and definitely it gives us the positive vibe.
Absolutely. As I
So you can
mentioned,
see.
right.
So whatever we want food, we want air, whatever we want, everything is provided by the plants.
Absolutely.
But we as a human, we are not taking care of the nature, our survivors. You know, we can say that the plants are the only thing by which we can survive.
True. True. We are so dependent on the plants rather than the other way around. Right. Thank you so much, Ekta. I'll get back to you after a short break. Let's get on with
Seema,
Ms.
here,
Kaveri ji. Yes. Yes, Ekta.
please introduce yourself.
My name is Rajiv Gupta.
Yes. Hi,
Yes,
Mr. Gupta.
हाँ जी, तो मैं अब थोड़े टाइम से जो है मतलब नियर अबाउट 3 to 4 years आई एम एंजॉइंग अबाउट ग्रीनरी. तो मेरे को बहुत हाँ जी.
जी.
तो मैं प्लांट्स को जो है मैं जब आता हूँ तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है ये, और मैं अपनी पॉकेट भी नहीं देखता कई बार
जी. वंडरफुल वंडरफुल.
हाँ जी, जो मेरे को पॉकेट मनी मिलती है मैं उसी में से कोशिश करता हूँ ताकि वाइफ को जो है बनाऊँ.
तो दैट्स
बहुत
ग्रेट.
बढ़िया.
तो हम अपनी पॉकेट मनी को कहीं और होटल्स पे स्पेंड करने के बजाय प्लांट्स में नेचर के साथ उसको स्पेंड करें. So it's a very good thought. आज हमारे पास एक नया पॉइंट जुड़ा है. Instead of spending your pocket money on other things like हम सीएनजी पेट्रोल फ्यूल यहाँ वहाँ घूमते हैं, उस पे स्पेंड करने की बजाय और पॉल्यूशन फैलाते हैं,
हाँ जी
है ना?
जी।
तो उसकी बजाय अगर हम प्लांट्स पे और इन चीजों पे स्पेंड करेंगे तो वो हम लोग एक पॉजिटिविटी क्रिएट
जी
करेंगे।
जी
Absolutely.
एनवायरमेंट
That's a wonderful thing, Mr. Gupta, जो आप कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं.
ठीक है जी, थैंक यू सो मच जी, थैंक यू।
He is your son?
Thank you.
Would you like to say you are enjoying with your father? So can you share something?
ही इज एंजॉयिंग, ये मेरे को देखता है तो इसको भी अच्छा लगता है, बल्कि मेरे को जिद करता है, बल्कि बेटा जो मेरा जिद करता है आने के लिए कि पापा मैंने भी जाना है और मैंने भी देखना है।
So
See, this is yes, Ekta, I would like to say that this is a perfect example of passing the green legacy that we talk about.
that is must, as we always speak that
जी.
जब हम छोटे थे तो हमारे घर में पेड़ होता था, वहां से हम फल तोड़ते थे, जो कि हमारे आजकल के बच्चे जो हम फ्लैट में रह रहे हैं तो उनके पास ये पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है। तो एटलीस्ट हम लोग अपने घर के अंदर जितना भी हो सके उतने पौधे लगाकर अपने बच्चों को वो चीज पास ऑन कर सकते हैं।
बिल्कुल.
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू सो मच जी, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta. Thank you so much. Right. Thank you, Ekta. I'll get on with Kaveri ji for the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Kaveri ji, my next question to you is that do you have any message for our audience that जो आप audience के साथ share करना चाहती हैं आपके इस सफर में जो भी आपने सीखा है? Do you have anything that you want our
Definitely.
audience to know? Yes, please.
Definitely. One thing I will share and I will give, I want to give message to my audience, and not only my audience, the gradually, chronologically, to the every corner of the people of world. That is, these days, this Ganesh Chaturthi, Ganesh Puja, our Durga Puja, Kali Puja, these are, we are just erecting colossal, not only big, colossal idols. And that is out of those colors are used, that is not herbal, that is all chemical.
Right.
If you, when we go to immerse these idols, they are not, dissolved. They
Right.
whereas earlier when we erect idols of normal medium-sized idols of Durga and all Ganesh, they're all we used to make that time we used totally colored made from leaves of plant
Right.
trees. Yeah.
Yes, from the plant sources.
The plants, even barks of the
of the plants, of the trees.
Some liquids of some, liquids of barks.
Right.
That is somehow we used to, and there was no problem like these days. If you go to Yamuna during this immersion period, you will be really not only puzzled, you will be shocked to see the area full of chemicals and some articles we use these days that is not dissolved. What to say? Those are not
biodegradable is what you're talking about.
Biodegradable. So this is my message. Even one of my known NGO, Mr. Fuller, he first said like this, we used to enjoy more and more pujas, whatever. Now we are Punjabi, he used to say. We are Punjabi. We also used to enjoy Durga Puja, Bengalis Puja, Maharashtrians, this Ganesh Puja.
Right.
Even though the idol might be small and medium size,
Right.
but those are made up of this bioproduct, this plant. This is all are coming from this plant leaves and any sort of thing, totally from plants.
Right.
But nowadays, these are the these chemicals are used for erecting one big idol. This is really very shocking. Very these are all damaging the ecosystem.
Absolutely. It's not just the colors that are used in these idols, it's also the food.
For one sort of thing, I used peace and nature. That is, you know, our Mother Earth is also
Yes.
green color.
Yes.
The color of Mother Earth is green.
Right.
That is the sign of peace.
Absolutely. 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 I totally agree
you,
with you
ma'am.
on this.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kaveri ji. I would also like to add on that it's not just the colors that are used on the idols, but I guess even the food colors that today that we are using are pretty much harmful. And I think in the eventuality of using food colors at a constant pace, people end up with a lot of cancers today. So I think one of the main reasons is the food that we are eating. And you could have the best of the food produced without having to use any fertilizers which are totally harmful rather than being beneficial to the plants. You have a lot of pesticides, insecticides, and a lot of other additives for a faster growth of the produce, which actually take out the nourishment from, you know, the plant produce that we get. And all that we're eating is nothing else but garbage, is what I would term it as, because there's no nutritive value to that. So I think we need to get rid of all the artificial stuff and non-biodegradable things that we add on to our plants and their growth and things like that. So that was a wonderful thing that you brought about.
Want to spell that time? Sorry to interrupt. What I
Please,
want
go
to
ahead.
spell that time, that is decomposition.
Right.
This color, these idols, they don't decompose
Yes.
like earlier.
Right. Exactly.
That is the
Exactly. That's the point. I mean, that's a very valid point that you brought about, you know, the decomposition or the non-biodegradable thing aspect of it, that they stay for centuries before they get destroyed or out of this planet. So that is causing a lot of harm, not just to human life, but also to the aquatic life and to nature as well. So with this, I guess we've come to the end of our session. I'm very happy for you to have joined with us, Kaveri ji, and for patiently waiting for us to start off with our live. Thank you so much for your participation
so
and
much.
also your patience again. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So shall
Thanks.
I show my some of my painting?
Yes, please.
One or two.
Yes, please go ahead.
Is it audible?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. This is, I think you come to know. This is Last Supper.
Right. Okay. These are the paintings that you have done yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
MJ is my hot favorite, Michael Jackson.
Oh, he's my favorite too. My high school heartthrob, you could say.
Yeah,
Still
I
is.
love to see his moonwalking.
Right. He still is. He still is a heartthrob, I guess, for all of them who can connect to the 90s and the 80s. Right.
Bye.
Right. Thank you so much, Kaveri ji. Wonderful having you with us. And thank you so much for our audience who joined us on live. Thanks. Thank you all. Have a great evening and a great weekend. Thank you so much. We are on a mission of planting 1 lakh Trivenis. So kindly stay tuned to Parijay to know more about newer episodes of Greener Happier, which we promise you every alternate Saturdays. And we come around with a lot of plant lovers. Ash, can we have the slide again, please, regarding for contacting us on Parijay? You could log on to any of our websites and our links, our social media links are there available on the screen right now, or get into reach to us on the particular number that's on your screen. And you can also reach us on the email address shown here. So please do tune in every Saturday at 6 o'clock. We have different programs coming up for you. Most importantly, they're more knowledgeable, and I think you can do things at home. You don't need to step out of your home to make your home a green heaven for you and pass on your green legacy to the next generation. Thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. Good night for now, and see you all. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.